Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Deepak Tulsian, and I welcome all of you and thank you for joining today's webinar on how to increase sales efficiency with your own B2B app. Our speaker today, Mr. Yash Shah, is the founder and CEO of Triologic. It is one of the best jewelry app development companies in India. He has more than a decade of experience in the jewelry industry and has helped hundreds of jewelry manufacturers and wholesalers build B2B mobile app solutions. Let me begin with a short introduction to JESPA first. JESPA stands for Jewelry E-commerce Service Providers Association. Our mission is to simplify and accelerate jewelry e-commerce in India by promoting knowledge and services. Our vision is to become a one-stop solution for all e-commerce related knowledge and services required by jewelers in India. JESPA is an initiative by Mr. Vikrant Rawa. He's the founder and CEO of Integrity.com. Mr. Yash Shah is the MD of Triologic.com, and myself, Deepak Tulsian, founder of MyWisdomLane.com. May I now invite our today's speaker, Mr. Yash Shah, to take us through his presentation.
Hi, Deepak ji, and hi, everyone. Thank you for joining this meeting today. I thank everyone who's joined here, including some of my clients and some other, some new faces as well, which we see in this particular meeting. Thank you so much for joining once again. Deepak ji, can you make me the host, please?
Yes. You're the host now.
All right. Thank you. All right, I hope everyone is able to see my presentation now. We'll just start with giving you an introduction about how everything works. So this webinar is specifically to understand how do we increase sales efficiency with your own B2B application. Hi, my name is Yash Shah. I am the Managing Director of Triologic Enterprises Private Limited. We are a Mumbai-based company. We work with the jewelry industry specifically, and we've been working with the jewelry industry specifically for the past 12 years. So we are exclusive jewelry industry only. We do not do any other work outside the jewelry industry. So our main focus is always there for the challenges and solutions which we can provide specifically for the jewelry industry. I have personally worked with more than 500 plus jewelers across the world for technical implementations of various different sorts. It includes ERP implementations, cataloging applications, helping them manage their overall process flows, in terms of manufacturing or wholesale or retail for that matter. I've worked with more than 500 of these dwellers across the world. Overall, my mantra in life and business overall is organized growth. That's actually the tagline for the company as well. Triologic, we focus on organized growth. So the idea here is how can you organize the way which you do business on day-to-day basis. And that's the whole point of being efficient. That's the whole point of this particular webinar of how can we be more efficient when it comes to our sales process. Now, I would like to dive deep into this entire topic. Okay, one of the most important things which basically comes up in a lot of our conversation is why make an app? Okay, why do I have to have an app? Can I do it with WhatsApp? Can I do it with some other link-based systems? Can I do it with a website? Why do I have to really make an app in the first place? So this is a very standard question we keep getting from all our customers on a regular basis. Now, let's try and understand this, okay? I'll start by, explaining this with a quote by Steve Jobs, okay? It says that get closer than ever to your customers. So close, in fact, that you tell them what they need before even they realize it themselves, right? Now, the entire industry or the entire space where we are saying you're providing products to your customers, okay, you have to be where your customers are. That's the whole point of marketing, branding, showcasing your products to your customers. You have to be as close to them as possible. If you're sitting in one corner of the world and you expect that some customers in other different corners of the world are going to come to you without doing anything without any effort put in during the marketing effort, that's not going to happen. So as close you get to your customers, the more amount of response you get. Very simple, right? Now, this is some statistics which is from the March 2023 data. Okay. This is overall data statistics of how internet, how online is basically perceived by India. So specifically, it says that in March 2023, only in 1 month, okay, 79.5% of the online traffic was mobile driven, 19.9% was desktop driven, and 0.6% came from tablets. Okay, so सामने दिख रहा है 79.5% लोग जो है वो मोबाइल से किधर ना किधर नेविगेट कर रहे हैं, इंटरनेट को एक्सेस ही मोबाइल से कर, राइट नाउ पूरा का पूरा अगर लैंडस्केप अगर मोबाइल के ऊपर 79.5% वाला लैंडस्केप जो है अगर मोबाइल के ऊपर एक्सेस कर रहा है तो क्या कर रहा है, राइट? व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली इज हैपनिंग इनसाइड, व्हाट इज ही डूइंग इनसाइड द एप्लीकेशन फॉर व्हेन ही इज यूजिंग द एप्लीकेशन, राइट? He spends 4.9 hours daily. Every day, almost close to 5 hours is spent on smartphones. An average Indian spends that much amount of time. Okay. Some of the applications which they use daily and the largest being WhatsApp, right? हम लोग WhatsApp दिन में 50 बार ओपन करके देखते रहेंगे. आज के डेट में सब कम्युनिकेशन WhatsApp के ऊपर ही हो रहा है. Now, this entire thing makes India the 8th largest country. On average, hours spent on mobile every day by every person. So very clearly, people are spending their times in front of the small screen. They are glued to this small screen. Now, जब हमें पता है कि लोग ये 5-5 घंटा मोबाइल के सामने आगे देखने वाले हैं, okay, then this becomes the most effective place where you're doing marketing, right? Why do we do trade shows? Why do we do exhibitions? For brand visibility, brand awareness, brand recognition, for brand recall. This is the main reasons why we are always exhibiting in every shows, right? There are 3 to 5 day shows happening across the country now. Every month it has happened now. Everywhere in the entire country, every month there is some or the other show, right? Why are we doing these shows? Basically for increasing our brand visibility, our brand awareness, brand recognition, and brand recall. Now, if 79.5% of the traffic of internet is happening via mobile, a person is spending 5 hours daily in front of a mobile. Don't you think that the mobile is the best possible place where you should grab attention of your particular customers, right? And how do you do that? Mobile के अंदर एक जब तक अपना जगह नहीं बनेगा, that means हम हमारा ऐप नहीं बनाएंगे और हम उनके फोन के अंदर हमारा स्टोरेज या हमारा एप्लीकेशन नहीं लेके जाएंगे, till that particular time the customer is not connected with you, you're not connected with your customer, the brand visibility hasn't happened completely. So that's the most important point here, that because the audience, you have to be where your customers are, right? So if your audience is on the mobile, they're spending that much amount of time on the mobile, it is but obvious that you have to be on the mobile and you have to be on the app platform with in front of your customers. Now, हैविंग सेड दिस, ऐप तो चलो ठीक है, अब ऐप बनाना है, ऐप बन जाएगा, ऐप बनना है, हम लोग ऐप बना देंगे या कोई भी ऐप बना देगा ना. ऐप बनने से क्या होगा? लाइक आई ऑलवेज टेल दिस टू माय कस्टमर्स, बिल्डिंग एन ऐप is as good as buying a hammer. You can either make a Taj Mahal out of it, or you can probably make a urinal out of it. You can break a urinal out of it, right? So you have to understand that, what is it that you do with your app, right? So eventually, हमारा main goal या motive है हमारा sales efficiency. We want to achieve what do we really want to achieve, right? हमारा main motive है as a business to generate revenue. Now, generate revenue can happen in multiple ways, but what is the most effective way? Yeah, we want to increase our sales, increase our designs, increase our inventory, but reduce our cost, reduce the time it takes to do that, and reduce the amount of dependency on people. This is the standard, this is basically what is sales efficiency. अगर हमने हमारा sales को बढ़ा दिया, हमने हमारा design catalog ज़्यादा जगह पे पहुंचा दिया, हमने हमारा inventory ज़्यादा जगह पे पहुंचा दिया, हमने हमारा cost को पहले जितना रखा या कम किया, in that process हमने हमारा टाइम स्पेन को कम कर दिया, या हम जो टाइम ओवरऑल प्रोसेस में लगा रहे हैं वो कम हो गया, एंड द नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु आर डिपेंडेंट टू डू दिस एंटायर ऑपरेशंस, दैट रिड्यूसेस. If this is what we have achieved, this is basically called sales efficiency. Now, how do we achieve this particular sales efficiency when it comes to your B2B application, right? Now, one common mistake which probably everyone thinks when they are buying an application or when they're buying any particular form of tech product is They think that the tech product is going to transform the way they work, overnight. Now, they feel that, by buying an online application or by opting in with an online application, the users will start registering, and people will basically discover your application. You'll probably just print your app links, or your app that you're available on the app store in 2 3 different places, and and people expect that they will start getting their customers, right? Now, uh, the the audience is far lazier than what we expect them to be. Like, honestly, the customers, they do not want to take any effort, right? Because conventionally, like we were talking before the session start, conventionally, a retailer has been sitting in his retail store. He has multiple manufacturers and wholesalers coming to them on regular basis, showing them physical inventory, right? Earlier, there were very limited trade shows. So there were limited trade shows where this particular retailer used to travel, one, to get quality of product or new design variety to be seen. Okay. Second, to get better rates, because it's an expo, you're getting better rates there, right? So this used to be a rare phenomenon. It wasn't something which was happening every month. Okay. Now, on the other hand, because this has started becoming every month, people have, there's no, the whole point of urgency has basically gone away. So when you say that your customers are not going to download your app merely by, putting it in a banner, or putting it on your story, or putting it somewhere or the other, you have to understand that you have to target your audience in a very systematic way. Okay. You have to understand what type of customers are going to be comfortable in using the application, and how do you make them more comfortable overall in the process, right? We always suggest, when it comes to the B2B space, is to always target your existing customers first. Yeah. Your existing customers are already working with you. You have a rapport with them. You will get first-hand feedback from them. You will also be able to, fix your relationships if there is anything going wrong. Okay. Let's say the customer is not able to find the type of products he is looking for, or the customer is not able to navigate through your application, because you're giving it to your existing customers. आप आपके existing customers के साथ जो है, ये वाला challenges को solve कर सकते हो, ये वाले challenges को आप उनको cater कर सकते हो, because वो एक relationship. So till the time your existing customers do not trust your entire method, this new method of sales for that matter, it is not advisable to go out and say that मेरे को और 100 customers acquire करना. So first, you have to make sure that your existing customers are happy. Second, you have to make this as an integral part of your sales process. मतलब इंटेग्रल पार्ट का मतलब क्या होता है? मतलब ये एक ऑप्शन नहीं है. ये अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि मैंने एक एप्लीकेशन बनाया और मैं एप्लीकेशन से जो मुझे सेल आएगा वो एक एक्स्ट्रा सेल है मेरे लिए, देन एक्स्ट्रा सेल है तो मतलब फोकस नहीं है. फोकस नहीं है तो मतलब कुछ भी एक्स्ट्रा नहीं होने वाला है, राइट? एनीथिंग व्हिच यू पुट फोकस ऑन इज व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू गेट सम रिटर्न्स आउट. If you are not putting that kind of a focus on this particular avenue, nothing is going to happen out of it, right? So you have to make your application as a part of your sales process. So that means, your customers will have to be, over a period of time, be habituated to place an order directly via your application. They'll be, make it a part of your process to give them status updates of your application. Make it so integral that, application में सब कुछ है, हमें किसी को फोन नहीं करना. आप खाली एक बार, हम सब लोगों ने जो है, Amazon से या फ्लिपकार्ट से या कहीं ना कहीं से तो कोई ना कोई ऑर्डर प्लेस किया हुआ है, राइट? ये B2C है, मतलब हम लोग एज अ कंज्यूमर ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहे हैं, स्मॉल टिकट साइज है, एवरीथिंग सेड एंड डन. बट हमने रेयरली कभी कोई सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव या कस्टमर सर्विस रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को कॉल किया रहेगा ऑफ Amazon और फ्लिपकार्ट फॉर एनी काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन विच आई वांट टू टेक फ्रॉम देयर वेबसाइट. मतलब मुझे आज भले कोई भी चीज खरीदना हो Amazon या फ्लिपकार्ट से, आई वुड नॉट कॉल उनका कोई सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव को कि मुझे ये देखना है, ये देखना है. दिस बीइंग अ B2C एनवायरनमेंट, राइट? ये जो B2C एनवायरनमेंट में जो ease of use आ गया है, that is the type of ease of use your customer expect when they do B2B online application with you. ये expectation है, बिकॉज ये कस्टमर Amazon पे ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहा है, फ्लिपकार्ट पे ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहा है, उसको ये इतना इजी ऑर्डर प्लेस करने का मेथड पता है, और वही कन्वीनियंट है. अब आपके एप्लीकेशन में अगर वो कुछ अलग तरीके से काम करेगा या उसको इनकन्वीनियंस दिखेगा, तो देन इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू रियली मेक अ लॉट ऑफ ease of use for that particular customer. So you have to get that kind of experience to your customer when he's using your application. How do you bring that experience? Yeah, you have to make sure that your team, your sales team, your back office team, they they are as strong as, you know, you see any of these applications or any of the support executive of any of these applications. हर एक आदमी को जो आपके कंपनी को रिप्रेजेंट करता है, उनके पास टेक्निकल ट्रेनिंग ऑफ दिस एंटायर एप्लीकेशन, ऑफ हाउ योर एप्लीकेशन वर्क्स, एप्लीकेशन पे किस तरह से ऑर्डर प्लेस करते हैं, क्या चेक्स एंड पॉइंट्स है, किस तरह से आपको एक्सेस मिलेगा, किस तरह से रजिस्ट्रेशन होगा. Everyone should be aware about this entire thing. There shouldn't be that, oh sir, I don't know about it, I'm going to ask someone else to give you a call. Sir, मैं किसी को बोलता हूँ, मुझे नहीं है. This is all what brings disconnect.
Yes, we lost you. Your screen is frozen.
Sorry, can you see it, right?
Yeah, now you're back.
Yeah, yeah, I am on the same slide. I haven't moved. So that technical training is what is important for your sales team to really have. The next is you need to engage with your audience, right? So engagement with audience is the most important thing, right? अभी मैंने जैसे बताया कि पहला पापा कस्टमर ऑडियंस अगर आपके एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स रख रहे हो, that is when your existing customers are most comfortable to use your application. That means you can engage with them offline, online, with various different methods. You can connect with them and they'll be comfortable in communicating with you. This is how you make sure that your application becomes the right application for everyone. आपके 10 कस्टमर हो, 5 हो, 100 हो या कितने भी हो, जब इस बंच में एक प्रूवन मेथड बन जाता है, that is when you go out and meet other people. इसको मिनिमल वायबल प्रोडक्ट बोला जाता है, या proof of concept बोला जाता है. Like, in technical terms, this is what it means. That means you have illustrated, या आपने एक प्रोसेस बना दिया है कि ये करने से मेरा ये आउटपुट निकलने वाला है, and this is my set parameter कि ये मैं ऐसे करूंगा तो मुझे रिजल्ट मिलेगा. This only happens when you are engaging with your user. And how do you engage with your user? You need to measure, analyze the performance. You need to know what they are looking, क्या कर रहे हैं, कितना orders आ रहे हैं, daily कितना activity है, where are the challenges and problems which your customer is facing. This happens on a day-to-day basis. It's not a one-time activity. It is something which you have to do on day-to-day basis so that आपके पास एक overall performance analysis हो कि आप किस तरह से आपके application पे grow कर रहे हैं. And that is when you require to continuously keep upgrading and improving your application and process. So sales efficiency with a B2B application will not happen as a tool. It is not an overnight thing. It is a process which basically requires you to first understand your customer's persona, make it a part of your integral sales process कि भाई ये हर चीज इसी के अंदर से flow होने वाला है. Train your team to the best possible way that they can be your ambassadors and they can be that person कि भाई इस ऑफिस में किसी को भी फोन करो वो सेम जवाब दे रहा है. Yeah, you have to communicate and engage with your customers and users, measure their performance, or measure the application's performance, how they are exactly using the application and how the customer is using the application, and continuously keep improving on it. Yeah, so this is the process in which you achieve sales efficiency. Now, having said this, how do you do this? Like, अभी ये तो चलो हमने बता दिया sales efficiency चाहिए, B2B application बना दिया, सारा B2B application बन गया, but कस्टमर को efficiency कब लगेगा? जब आपके application के अंदर उसका सारा क्वेश्चंस का जवाब दे, राइट? हम जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि Amazon, Flipkart के ऊपर हम कभी फोन नहीं करते, हमको जो चाहिए वहां पे हम देखते हैं, वहां पे हमें सारा इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाता है. We get to know everything about the product. We don't have to call anyone. We don't have to ask any questions. All of that is there on that one screen. That's the type of relationship, or that's the type of experience you want to create with your customer. So these are some must-have features which your application must have. Only then you will be able to achieve sales efficiency. मतलब अगर आपके पास ये फीचर्स नहीं है तो कस्टमर कहीं ना कहीं डिस्कनेक्ट फील करेगा और आपको कॉल करेगा या आपका एप्लीकेशन को अबैंडन करेगा या कहीं ना कहीं आपका ये एफर्ट लूज हो जाएगा. सो फर्स्ट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, इट नीड्स टू बी क्विक, इट नीड्स टू बी फास्ट, राइट? एंड जो आपके वाइड रेंज ऑफ प्रोडक्ट है उसका एक्सेस करना बहुत ईजी होना चाहिए, राइट? आप सोचिए कि अगर आप एक रिटेल स्टोर में जाते हो, कोई भी टाइप का रिटेल स्टोर हो ये, राइट? आप जैसे वो रिटेल स्टोर में एंटर करते हो, देयर इज ऑलवेज एन एग्जीक्यूटिव आस्किंग यू कि आपका क्या टाइप का रिक्वायरमेंट है, और वो रिक्वायरमेंट के बेसिस पे आपको राइट जगह पे पहुंचा दे, राइट? सो यू आर making sure that it's easy for the customers to see what they are looking for. If you make an application जहाँ पे एक लंबा चौड़ा लिस्ट आ रहा है, right? You're seeing 20 different or maybe 200 different types of options. click, 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 click to reach the product. Okay, इतना रीड करते करते तक तो कस्टमर को 2 फोन आ जाएगा और ये कनेक्शन ब्रेक हो जाएगा. So it has to be quick and it has to be easy to access the products which they're looking for. You need to give as much of detailed information of the product as possible. जितना मैनुअल कम्युनिकेशन कस्टमर को नहीं करना पड़े उतना आपका एप्लीकेशन का सक्सेस. अगर आप बेसिक इन्फॉर्मेशन दिखाओ, थोड़ा इन्फॉर्मेशन दिखाओ, खाली कस्टमर से डिजाइन सिलेक्ट करवा दो, बाद में हम वेस्टेज बाद में बताएंगे, हम हमारा पेमेंट टर्म्स बाद में बताएंगे, हम हमारा शिपिंग लॉजिस्टिक्स का चार्जेस अलग बताएंगे, हम हमारा हॉलमार्किंग का चार्जेस बाद में अलग बताएंगे, स्टोन के चार्जेस हम अभी नहीं दिखाएंगे, बाद में दिखाएंगे, खाली डिजाइन सिलेक्शन करवा दिया, बाकी सब बाद में होगा. तो ये प्रोसेस में कस्टमर अपने प्रोसेस अपने ऐप से डिस्कनेक्ट कर लेता है. यू आर नॉट completely binding that particular customer to be a part of this entire journey. You have to give as much detailed description as possible. Yeah, we understand, and every company has different pricings for different customers. You have different logics for different customers. That's the whole beauty of having your own application, that your own application can work the way you work. So you have to make sure that every question answer which happens manually is basically getting catered via your application. Yeah, you need to give your customers the flexibility to customize his requirement. अभी कोई कस्टमर अगर आपके पास से कोई चीज परचेज करता है तो वो आपके स्टोर में आएगा या आपके शॉप पे आएगा या आपको आपका डिजाइन देख के वो उसके अंदर कोई मॉडिफिकेशन चाहेगा. Now, when there is a salesperson sitting in front of this particular user or this particular customer, the communication is there. वो बोल रहा है मुझे ये रोज गोल्ड में चाहिए, मुझे ये एमरल्ड नहीं चाहिए और रूबी चाहिए. ये क्वेश्चन आंसर्स जो है वो रियल टाइम सामने सामने हो रहा है, तो उसको रिस्पॉन्स भी मिल रहा है and he's able to enjoy the entire process. That's why selection हो रहा है, right? अगर हमने कैटलॉग सामने छोड़ दिया होता और उसमें कोई और जवाब देने वाला नहीं होता तो वो नहीं हो पाता था. So now what do you have to do? You have to make sure that the customer gets to customize his requirements. वो टोन चेंज कर सके, साइज चेंज कर सके, हमारा स्टोन का कलर चेंज कर सके, उसके अगर समझो चेन्स है तो क्या टाइप का हुक चाहिए वो सिलेक्ट कर सके, अगर नेकलेस सेट है तो वो सिलेक्ट कर सके इयररिंग नहीं चाहिए, मुझे सिर्फ नेकलेस चाहिए, या एक वेडिंग सेट है जिसमें लॉन्ग शॉर्ट और वडानम टीका सब कुछ है तो उसमें से भी सिलेक्ट कर सके कि मुझे टीका नहीं चाहिए, बाकी सब कुछ चाहिए. So you have to have that kind of flexibility given to your customer, seeing on that page, so that the customization for that particular product is easily possible directly via the application. Yeah, you have to make sure that the customer can filter and search the right products, all the products which you put on the application. Thousands and thousands of products. We have seen an average of at least 30,000 products uploaded on the application by a manufacturer and wholesaler. That's the average number which we see on our customer applications. So such a large number of designs cannot be seen by a person just like that. Unko एक intuitive method to filter चाहिए, an intuitive method to search चाहिए. So it's easy for them to search and filter the products and not to keep looking at products. और बताओ वो advertisement में सही था, but और बताओ में customer नहीं connect कर पाता. They want to get to the right products as fast as possible. The next thing is to get real-time quotations. Again, the point is in this entire slide or all ये जो पूरा है कि what all features you must have, इसका एक ही लॉजिक है, ये सारे पॉइंट्स का एक ही लॉजिक है, that the communication of your customer and your internal sales team will have to be as least as possible when he is placing an order. उसको ब्रांडिंग चाहिए, उसको एजुकेशन चाहिए, उसको सीखना है कि कैसे ये यूज करना. डेफिनेटली आपका सेल्स टीम उसमें बहुत काम करेगा. बट द पॉइंट इज जब मैं ऑर्डर प्लेस करना चाहूँ, वो भले दिन हो या रात हो, मुझे ये सारे जवाब मिलने चाहिए, बिकॉज अब आपने मुझे फोन के ऊपर आपका डिजाइन कैटलॉग, इन्वेंटरी कैटलॉग दे दिया. तो जो जवाब मुझे चाहिए वो मुझे फोन पे मिलना चाहिए, वापस फोन करने का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए. सो यू हैव टू गिव अ
मीटिंग पीटीएम है.
Sorry, Priyesh, I think can you sorry. So उसको वो फोन करके वापस किसी के पास से कोई कोटेशन मंगवाने का एक एडिशनल प्रोसेस फॉलो करना कि डिजाइन सिलेक्शन आया फिर कोटेशन बन के गया. This is what we have to end. So the customer should be able to see the final price, figures, delivery dates directly on the application when he's doing all the customization, right? This is when you are basically able to make sure that customer does not need to call anyone for getting any answers. That means you have to also show your real-time inventory. हम manufacturers and wholesalers के लिए specific this particular presentation is, right? So a manufacturer would want to show that एक particular product बनने के लिए कितना time लगेगा, plus they also have inventory, right? Wholesalers have a large amount of inventory, and that inventory, they first motive रहता है कि जो product हमारे पास inventory में वो हमें sell करना है. So real time inventory जो availability है, that needs to be visible on your application. Only then your customers will never have a bad experience. Imagine आपने effort डाला है आपके customer से app download करवाने के लिए, आपने effort डाला है आपके customer को app को use करवाने के लिए, वो कस्टमर एफर्ट डाल रहा है आपका एप्लीकेशन को यूज करने, वो एक ऑर्डर भी प्लेस कर रहा है. ये B2B ऑर्डर है, तो कोई छोटे छोटे ऑर्डर्स नहीं होते. दिस इज सब्सटेंशियल अमाउंट ऑफ पीसेस, प्लस ये सीन सब्सटेंशियल अमाउंट ऑफ पीसेस टू सिलेक्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर. अब ये ऑर्डर सिलेक्ट करने के बाद अगर आपके कस्टमर ने ऑर्डर प्लेस किया और आपके साइड से अगर कॉल जाता है कि सर ये वाला आइटम तो अवेलेबल नहीं है और ये बनने के लिए हमें XYZ टाइम लगेगा, जो कस्टमर को पता ही नहीं था जब वो ऑर्डर प्लेस कर रहा था, और ये बनने के लिए जो इतना टाइम लगेगा उसके बाद हम आपको डिलीवर करते हैं, या इसका सिमिलर डिजाइन अवेलेबल है वो मैं आपको भेज देता हूँ, तो कस्टमर क्या बोलेगा? कस्टमर वो बोलेगा ना कि आपके पास जो अवेलेबल है वो आप मुझे भेज दो, और ये वाला सिर्फ ऑर्डर रहने दो. मैंने 1 घंटा टाइम डाला इसके ऊपर सिलेक्शन करने के लिए, बट अगर आपके पास माल ही नहीं है तो फिर ये ऐप का काम. सो यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट the application is showing you real time inventory, so that your so that the customers do not have this experience. This is the worst experience possible. एफर्ट डालने के बाद, कस्टमर एफर्ट डाल रहा है उसके बाद ये वाला एक्सपीरियंस होना इज द वर्स्ट पॉसिबल एक्सपीरियंस पॉसिबल. या द नेक्स्ट इज यू शुड हैव ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ ऑर्डर फ्लेक्सिबिलिटीज. मतलब मैं डिजाइन देख के या स्टॉक देख के ऑर्डर सिलेक्ट करना चाहता हूँ. सेकंड, मेरे कस्टमर ने मुझे एक डिजाइन दे दिया, मैं वो ऑर्डर फोटो निकाल के आपको भेजना चाहता हूँ कि आप ये मुझे बना के दीजिए. इसको बोलते हैं हम कस्टम डिजाइन ऑर्डर. थर्ड हो गया बल्क ब्लैंकेट ऑर्डर्स. मुझे 2 किलो माल चाहिए, ऐसे 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 टाइप का चाहिए, राइट? All these 3 types of orders should be able to be placed directly via the application. तीनों का अलग अलग प्रोसेसेस है. डिजाइन बेस्ड सिलेक्शन किया मतलब उसने प्रोडक्ट्स देखा है, उसने अपना खुद का प्रोडक्ट सिलेक्ट किया है. कस्टम डिजाइन मतलब उसका कंफर्म्ड ऑर्डर है, उसमें कोई नेगोशिएशन का जरूरत ही नहीं है, उसने जो फोटो भेजा है आपको वैसा का वैसा बना के देना है. सिंपल वर्ड, राइट? Of course, too much to do from the manufacturing side, but this order is a complete, I mean, no other processes are required in this order. Your order is a confirmed order. And you have a bulk blanket orders जहाँ पे majority amount of orders जो आते हैं in the manufacturing space specifically is all bulk orders which is in blanket. Like आप भेज दीजिए आपके हिसाब से, आपको पता है आपको क्या टाइप का रिक्वायरमेंट है, राइट? सो दिस ब्लैंकेट ऑर्डर्स becomes a gray area space. आपने बनाया, वो चला नहीं चला, return, all of that becomes a gray area space. So there's a whole process which needs to be followed when the bulk blanket orders are also in place, so that ये प्रोसेस भी जो है वो मोर कॉन्क्रीट हो जाए, कस्टमर पास विजिबिलिटी रहे कि वो क्या ऑर्डर एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है, क्या मिला उसको, ये विजिबिलिटी क्लियर. नाउ द कमिंग बैक टू वन एग्जांपल विद Amazon, राइट? तो अगर आपने आज Amazon के पास एक ऑर्डर प्लेस किया और आपको पता है कि आपको ये वाला ऑर्डर कौन से डेट पे डिलीवर होने वाला है, वो ऑर्डर डिलीवरी तक आपको रिमाइंड करते रहेगा या आपको बताते रहेगा कि एग्जैक्टली ये ऑर्डर कहाँ पे पहुंचा है और वो कहाँ पे कब तक आपके पास पहुंचने वाला है. अगर कोई डिले है या जल्दी आने वाला है, ऑल ऑफ दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज क्लियरली विजिबल टू यू, डायरेक्टली पुश हो रहा है, आपको जाके देखना भी नहीं पड़ रहा है, सामने से मिल रहा है. So that complete visibility is what you need to have in your application when you, right from a person placing an order till the order has been delivered to his doorsteps. So that's the most important thing that the customer is now expecting from you because of all the other B2C brands which they have already placed order. The last and the most important thing, every app or any app which you take, okay, should have flexibility or interest or options to integrate with another third party softwares. Okay, an application is your front end which will help you to collect as many number of orders as you can, showcase your brand in a better way. Okay, but then there are many things around it, right? From accounting, marketing, inventory management, HRMS, hundreds of things which goes around with a business to make sure that all the different parts of the business are also smooth. जब सब एक दूसरे से बात नहीं कर रहा है तब effectiveness नहीं आ सकता. So we have to make sure, you have to make sure when you're deciding on an application that they have integration possibilities with third party software. Of course, there are thousands and thousands of softwares available across the world. maybe all softwares would not be directly compatible with a particular software, but you have to make sure that the company which you're working with has that open mindset to integrate with other softwares, right? Because that's the most important thing. सब एक दूसरे से connect हो सकते हैं, but openness होना चाहिए, right? So these are some basic pointers which you must make sure that you are definitely having in your application. Now, once you've made sure that you have created your application, right? What is the main reason why you created your application? That you have highest level of branding. So you have to make sure that your branding on your application, the look which you're giving your application is of the best level, right? That means आपका brand किस तरह से showcase हो रहा है, that is an image which a particular person is going to see आपके store का. आप आपके रिटेल मतलब जो अपना होलसेल ऑफिस है या ऑफिस एरिया है जनरली जहाँ पे आपके कस्टमर्स आके डिजाइन सिलेक्शन करते हैं, वहां पे आप जिस लेवल का ब्रांडिंग करते हो, जिस लेवल का आप डेकोर करते हो, that is the type of intention you have to make, you have to keep when you're designing the application in the first place, right? So it needs to be the highest level of branding. You get the most amount of control when you create your own app. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया कि customizations are endless. You can really customize it as per your business process flow. Bulk order है, उसका अलग business process है. आपका inventory selection है, उसका अलग business process है. आपका खुद का ही अलग एक business process है. This control is the most important thing which happens when you make your own application or when you have your own application versus anything else. आप WhatsApp पे फोटो भेज दो, वो अपने मनमर्जी से काम करेगा. आप लिंक भेज दो, वो अपने लिंक से डेटा आपको ऑर्डर प्लेस करेगा. So ये ऑर्डर को आगे कैसे लेके जाना, end to end control and visibility is something which gets difficult. So you get full control and customization when you have your own application, and you get to do this only when you have your own app. You can customize it endlessly. And that is when you get to define your unique sales process. Every company, every brand has a unique sales process. कोई भी type का चीज हो, in fact, it's not just jewelry. Like, I'll give you an example about this particular webinar. Okay. So all of you guys must have registered, on the link. Okay. अब हर एक का processes अलग है, right? तो हमने एक प्रोसेस होता है कि आपने रजिस्ट्रेशन किया और आपको लिंक मेल पे आ गया. दूसरा प्रोसेस हुआ कि आपको रिमाइंडर मिला व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर. व्हाट्सएप पे रिमाइंडर मिला तो हमें याद आ गया कि हमें कल ज्वाइन करना था. ये एक प्रोसेस है. दिस इज द प्रोसेस इन विच वी गॉट यू ऑन दिस वेबिनार इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस. हर एक टाइप का कस्टमर, हर एक टाइप का ज्वेलर का यूनिक सेल्स प्रोसेस रहता है. कोई मार्केटिंग कर करके रेगुलरली अपना ध्यान अपने अपने ब्रांड पे अवेयरनेस लेके आता है. कोई प्रोडक्ट के ऊपर फोकस करके अपना यूनिक प्रोपोजिशन क्रिएट करता है. It has to be a mix of everything, right? So you have to look at a complete 360-degree approach of marketing to make sure that your brand has that that visibility in the landscape. So ये जो प्रोसेस है वो हर कंपनी अलग अलग फॉलो करता है. When you create your own application, you get that flexibility to define your unique sales process. And that's the most important thing, because it is your own app. It is not someone else's ready-made application. It is not someone's ready-made solution. It is your own application, your own defined sales process. Yeah. Now, having said this, we have now said that why do I have to create an application? Okay, I got it. What all features I'm supposed to have in the application? Okay. How it will give me my branding? Okay. Now I've received that app, I've made that application. Now how do I make sure that I get orders? I keep adding products in my application. I keep मैं मेरे साइड का बैकएंड का ऑपरेशन सब कुछ एकदम सिस्टमैटिक करता हूँ. बट मैं कैसे मेरे कस्टमर्स को बोलूँ कि मेरे एप्लीकेशन पे आए और ज्यादा से ज्यादा ऑर्डर्स प्लेस करें, राइट? हाउ डू आई गेट दैट? द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज यू नीड टू basically be engaged with your customers, right? If your engagement activity with your customer is consistent and at its peak, your application will provide you success, right? Now, what do I mean by engagement? Okay, there are some standard things which you must make sure it happens. Okay, अब हम लोग अभी एक बार ना एक practically हम discuss करते हैं यहाँ पे. Usually we are talking about a manufacturer and wholesaler space, right? तो manufacturer और wholesaler ने 30-30 हजार डिजाइन डाला हुआ है अपने एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर. कोई अगर आपका एप्लीकेशन डाउनलोड करेगा तो हम ये ओपन गेट तो है नहीं कि 30,000 प्रोडक्ट्स हम ओपनली दिखा देंगे. So we are going to block this particular gate and show only limited number of products. That okay, these are some 5, 7, 10 products of every category which you will be able to see on the application openly, so that आपको पता चले कि हम क्या टाइप का प्रोडक्ट्स बनाते हैं in the first place. So you have that barrier which is created, and you're making sure that the customer is registering in your application. sorry, you're making sure that your customer is registering in your application so that आप registration के बाद उसको access दे रहे हो, right? अब ये गेट बना दिया, ये गेट को जितना जल्दी खोलोगे या जितना अच्छे से खोलोगे तभी ही आपका कस्टमर इंटरेस्ट होगा. So your turnaround time when a customer raises a particular query or registers on your application, the turnaround time when the customer looks at your product should be as fast as possible. You have to define processes for the same. It cannot be दैट मैंने एक स्टाफ बैठाया है, वो रजिस्ट्रेशन जब होगा तब वो मेरे से आके बात करेगा और मेरे से जब आके बात करेगा मैं उसको बोलूंगा कि मुझे एक्सेस देना है कि नहीं देना है. बिकॉज अगर आप वो टाइम पे अवेलेबल नहीं हो, मीटिंग में हो, कस्टमर के साथ हो, तो 2-2 घंटे तक जो यूजर ने आपके ऐप पे रजिस्टर किया है वो एप्लीकेशन के अंदर सिर्फ 5-5 प्रोडक्ट देख रहा है, उसके लिए वो एप्लीकेशन यूजलेस, आपका पूरा एफर्ट यूजलेस. Right, you have to have a quick turnaround time to make sure that the customer is interested to use your application. आज हम लोग स्विगी और जोमेटो के टाइम में आ गए ना, तो we cannot wait 30 minutes of Domino's is too late, right? Now everything is 10 minutes delivery. So that's the turnaround time which people are expecting. You quickly deliver the content, right? So that's first thing. Second is you have to spoon feed. आप पूरा jewelry industry ने since at least since the longest time I know has always been spoon feeding their customers. That means the customers are going to demand that I want XYZ, and the manufacturers or wholesalers would create, selections or bring that type of a product in front of them, and retailer को सिर्फ उतने ही designs में से selection करना रहेगा. It is not that they are able to see a large number of products and collections, right? So you're spoon feeding or making your retailers life easy. I mean, spoon feeding is not necessarily a bad thing. It is mainly saying that you're making the process very simple for the person to select this particular or make this particular order selection. So you have to make sure that this customized or curated personalized catalogs are created at your end. Logic इसमें ये है कि आपका कस्टमर आपके व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर आपको एक मैसेज ड्रॉप करता है कि मुझे ऐसे टाइप के प्रोडक्ट्स देखने हैं, या मेरा ये ऐसा टाइप का रिक्वायरमेंट है, या आपके सेल्स पर्सन को इन्फॉर्म करता है, या आपके बैक ऑफिस के बाद कनेक्शन के पास कनेक्ट करता है. You should have the flexibility in a quick turnaround time to create an exclusive catalog. So what I'm trying to say here is मुझे प्लेन का माल देखना है जिसमें स्टोन्स नहीं है, of 18 कैरेट विद इन अ पर्टिकुलर वेट रेंज. मुझे रिंग्स लेना है और मुझे वो 5 ग्राम के अंडर का ही रिंग चाहिए प्लेन 18 कैरेट में. आपके पास क्या स्टॉक अवेलेबल है वो भेजो. दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड रिक्वेस्ट विच यू वुड बी गेटिंग. कैटेगरी अलग, वेट रेंज अलग, बट दिस इज द स्टैंडर्ड रिक्वेस्ट विच यू गेट फ्रॉम योर कस्टमर्स. You need to, in a quick turnaround time, be able to create this customized catalog and send it to your customer, but making sure that the entire experience of using this catalog or this particular curated personalized product catalog is at the highest peak. So that's how you get customer engagement. आप वो सर्विस जब तक कस्टमर को नहीं दोगे, आपका कस्टमर आपको फोन करके बोले मेरा ये रिक्वायरमेंट है और आपने उसको उतना ही रिक्वायरमेंट प्रोडक्ट भेज दिया, that is when your customer is going to be most happiest, right? You have to showcase your live gold rates. It increases the user's app visibility. वो regularly आपको फोन करता है क्या लाइव क्या रेट चल रहा है, भाव काटना है. This, if happens inside your application, will increase the engagement which your customer does with your app, thus giving more visibility to your products, right? WhatsApp business API integration. हमने थोड़ा टाइम पहले देखा 4.9 hours every day a person spends on the mobile. The highest time he spends is on WhatsApp. तो जिस जगह पे कस्टमर है उस जगह पे हमें रहना है, तो व्हाट्सएप के अंदर भी हमें हमारा कम्युनिकेशन चैनल ओपन करना है. सो सिस्टम्स के साथ आप व्हाट्सएप के बिजनेस एपीआई को इंटीग्रेट कर दो, सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिकली कम्युनिकेट करेगा. इन पर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन तो चल रहा है बट ऑटोमेटेड कम्युनिकेशन भी होगा. या you need to send push notifications to your customer. Anyone who's right now sitting with their applications or phone के ऊपर अगर ये webinar connected है, they must have at least received one push notification from some or the other brand. वो भले कोई e-commerce brand हो या कुछ और हो, ये push notification is the only way you pick up your phone from your desk and look at your phone. हम हमारा फोन को सामने रख के नहीं बैठते, right? तो push notification से ही हमें मालूम पड़ता है कुछ नया हुआ या एप्लीकेशन पे कुछ नया आया. So you have to send push notification to your customers. You have to make sure that you are doing suggested product display to your customer. हमने we initially discussed about it that you need to know your customers better than the customer knows himself. So you always know that उसको क्या type का product चलता है. You have to proactively suggest products to your customers and give that experience to your customers that this is suggested product specifically for you. And the last thing, as per my this particular slide, is you have to get your application to be the center, right? I mean, मतलब आपको एक adoption rate लेके आने का है. It is a very good idea if you can provide discounts for every order or for the first order which is placed via your application. Now, customer is habituated in the conventional way of doing business. आप उसको बोल रहे हो एक अलग तरीके से बिजनेस करना है, उसका इंसेंटिव क्या है, उसके लिए उसको इंटरेस्ट कैसे बनेगा? If you want to give them that experience, and you can give that experience by giving them a discount on the first order they place via the application, it completely changes the way they accept your entire application all the way. So this is one of the very important points which a lot of my customers have been using, and they see large amount of success. Many people have done various different styles in which they do these discounts. इसमें वॉल्यूम का आप एक वेरिएबल ऐड कर सकते हो कि अगर आप ऐप के ऊपर इतना वेट का ऑर्डर प्लेस करोगे तो आपको डिस्काउंट मिलेगा पहले ऑर्डर पे. आप टाइम का वेरिएबल ऐड कर सकते हो कि आप रात के 9 बजे से लेके सुबह के 9 बजे पे ऑर्डर प्लेस करोगे कोई भी एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर तो मतलब हमारे एप्लीकेशन के ऊपर तो आपको डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा. सो द लॉजिक इज दैट द टाइम व्हेन यू आर not doing any sales activities, your app is doing your sales activity. So you have to give some sort of an incentivization because the customers are habituated with the conventional method of doing business with you. So naya kya milega, right? Now, you for doing engagement, you have already done, let's say हम लोगों ने पूरा प्रोसेस देखा, अब हमने हमारा कस्टमर को एंगेज भी कर दिया. Now, how do I get more and more customers? राइट, हमने हमारे इनिशियल कस्टमर के साथ ये सारे एंगेजमेंट एक्टिविटी को फॉलो कर दिया, हमें एक हमारा एमवीपी मिल गया कि हमें किस तरह से हमारा प्रोडक्ट मार्केट करना है. नाउ वी हैव टू लुक एट प्रोडक्ट मार्केटिंग ओवरऑल, राइट? बिकॉज हमें एप्लीकेशन पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग चाहिए. ऐप इज द मोस्ट इफेक्टिव मेथड इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ स्केल. आपको 10 कस्टमर 100 कस्टमर का लिमिट नहीं है, आप पैन इंडिया डिलीवरी कर सकते हो. जीएसटी, लॉजिस्टिक्स, एवरीथिंग इज सॉर्टेड, राइट? सो you can extend your horizon or extend your market to a very large number, but of course you have to look at 360-degree marketing as an approach. Now, what do I mean by 360-degree marketing? Just some basic pointers here. Of course, marketing has a very large amount of things.
Yeah, सुनाई ही नहीं दे रहा था. हाँ.
Hi, Amish.
Amish sir, may I request you to put on mute, please?
Yeah, thank you so much. So marketing has a large many things which you can do, but just to give you the first initial bit which you should definitely be doing if you have already created an application or you wish to create an application, and right after you have achieved a product market fit, that means you have your minimal viable product or your product is enough, you've achieved that entire process flow perfectly. Okay, you have to make sure that you and your entire team are using the power of WhatsApp statuses and stories. Okay, one of the biggest ways in which people are interacting with your brand is the small story timeline जो आप आपके story पे डाल रहे हो, and WhatsApp being the one of the best methods to do it. Yeah, email signatures. I'm talking about some small pointers here which anyone can do very cost effectively. कुछ cost है नहीं इसका. आप जो email भेज रहे हो, every time you send an email, you have a signature at the bottom. हम खाली लिखते हैं thanks या क्या, you're gratefully, comma आपका नाम. Create your email signature to showcase what is new happening in your brand. Show them about your application, show them what new collections you have uploaded on your application. This is one of the most common things which you can do. Yeah, हर एक एग्जीबिशन ट्रेड शो के ऊपर जब जहाँ पे आप प्रेजेंट करते हो, शोकेस योर ऐप. एक आईपैड के ऊपर, एक स्टैंड के ऊपर आपके ऐप को उधर रखिए. Your customers are definitely coming and dealing with you, and उनको आपके application से order नहीं लेना है. This is the biggest mistake which a lot of my customers do. They eventually think that people are going to place order on the app. They're not going to place an order on the app. They've come to you on the trade show because वो touch and feel और product देख सके, right? But you have to give them that demonstration of the application that trade shows. You're meeting so many number of people there. That's the best amount of direct marketing which you can do about your app. Yeah. Salesperson should have a proper training of how to give the app demonstration to their customers. Okay, and you should encourage your customers to place a sample order. It's not an order, you will not deliver it to that particular customer, but आपका customer वो पूरा start से लेके end तक process देख लेगा. आपका सेल्स पर्सन उसको गाइड करे या आप उसको गाइड करो ऑन द फोन, या सेल्स पर्सन खुद उसको कस्टमर खुद उसको यूज करके ये ऑर्डर प्लेस करे. Once you've done it yourself, you know that you will be able to do it when the time comes, right? So you have to get that particular customer to place a sample order in the initial first go. You should make videos. You should make videos of how to use your application. What is the uniqueness in your application? Every company's app which we make has different types of product categories, subcategories, different types of product rate ranges. It has different filter parameters. Every customer thinks that their customers are communicating with themselves in a different language. मतलब कोई customer एक chain का कोई अगर chain purchase करना है मुझे तो मेरा requirement बोलने का तरीका अलग होगा versus मैं एक diamond jewelry purchase करने वाला हूँ तो उसका मेरा requirement बोलने का तरीका अलग होगा. The way a person is saying the requirement should be the way they will be able to navigate through the application and get to the right products. You need to showcase this to them with the help of videos. Most effective way, according to me, video should be something which every application, in fact, the ones which we have created or anyone who already has an application should focus on this, because this is what will make your customers very, very comfortable in using your application. 360-degree social media marketing around your app. Majority of the social media marketing we see in the manufacturing and wholesaling space is purely festive driven. हम सिर्फ लोगों को हैप्पी दिवाली, हैप्पी गणेश चतुर्थी, फेस्टिव विशेस कर, right? Of course, some invitations भेजते हैं for our trade shows. That is another social media activity which we do. But you have to focus that where do you acquire your customers from? How do how are these customers going to identify that you are doing something? What type of products are you doing? It is outside in the market. Social media is one of the biggest places where this market is. Trade shows में आपने ऐप को दिखाया, सोशल मीडिया पे जो लोग ढूंढ रहे सर्च कर रहे हैं वहां पे भी आपको उतना ही तरीके से ऐप के ऊपर फोकस करना है. In the application also you have to use features like pop-ups and walkthroughs, which is something which we have in our apps, where customers are able to then see what's new. मतलब उनको एक newness चाहिए ना. Every time they come in the application there needs to be something new. What is new, what's added, what's the popular thing in the application right now. You have to use these pop-ups and walkthroughs to make sure that the customer is easily able to navigate it and use it on a regular basis. All of this is not do it once and measure it and leave it. It keeps improving. You have to keep doing it on regular basis. Do a an A/B test कि भाई ये पहली बार किया था तो ऐसा हुआ, दूसरी बार किया था तो ऐसा हुआ. That's the method of doing it. The next thing is to ask your customers for writing reviews and giving you genuine customer feedbacks, right? One of the most important ways in which your marketing will make the wonders out of it is by asking your customers what was the problem, what was not working for you, what worked for you the most. It's always not negatives, it's always what worked for you more. जो positives है उस पे ज्यादा काम करोगे तो automatically negatives कम दिखाई देगा. So if the customer is able to give you a positive point about your application, that is very, very important. We need to nurture that and grow that. If there's something negative in your application, you need to basically understand that and fix it as soon as possible. So both these feedbacks and genuine feedbacks is only possible when you are connected with your customers in that particular. And then you have something where a lot of our customers does volume-based gifting. Okay, so that means if a person is placing X amount of orders on on a like an annual, like a financial year basis, we give them methods in which they can use this app in a better way. मतलब वो एक iPad उनको हम gift कर रहे हैं so that वो हमारा जो हमने दिए हुआ iPad है उसके थ्रू जो है हमारा application और effectively use कर सके. So used by a lot of corporates specifically. Volume-based gifting is done by a lot of my customers to a lot of corporates, where they're giving these tablets to the corporates where they are having these tablets and it's easy for them to place an order. They don't have to do it with their personal devices. So once you've achieved the entire process of making sure that your application is the way it is supposed to work, you have to focus on all of these different things and keep nurturing it on regular basis to make sure that your application keeps giving you more result on day-to-day basis. Right? I would like to show you two success stories which we have seen from our application. Okay. I mean, two of my customers, I'm just showing you some data of what they really do with the app. I'm not sure if anyone from Rohtak Chains has joined this meeting, but Rohtak Chain is the best application or, the widest used application which I've ever created. So it has 17,000 registered users. Okay, they have registered themselves on the application. They have put in their mobile numbers, put in an OTP. Each and every number is a valid number, right? Any marketing activity done, would basically be targeted to 17,000 people who already know what is your brand. So that because उन्होंने खुद से register किया है, we have not, मतलब fake entries नहीं है ना, we are not in that game, right? We are getting genuine registrations directly in our application. So any marketing activity on one shot is going to 17,000 people. They've got over 1 lakh app downloads, 550 plus user reviews on the app. So if you're searching for Rohtak chain or chain house, you will be able to see 200, 300 in iOS and about 200, 300 in Android. A total of 550 user reviews have happened on both these particular platforms. They're writing it themselves. Okay, we've in fact seen situations where if a customer is not able to even connect to the sales department, they have given reviews that sir, I like your application, I want to talk about something, can you please contact me on this number. That's the kind of user experience we've managed to create in this particular app. The average rating which a person has given on App Store and Play Store is 4.5 out of 5. So 550 people who have rated this have rated it 4.5 on an average out of 5. Now, ये सब तो चलो app numbers है, मैनिपुलेट हो सकता है. आई कैन वेरी क्लियरली से कि भाई मैनिपुलेटेबल नंबर्स हो सकता है. मैंने ऐप डाउनलोड करवाया, मैंने लोगों से रिव्यू लिखवाया, मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन अननेसेसरी डाला, चलो भले उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है एज अ बिजनेस, बट लेट्स जस्ट से दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज देयर. ओके, the important thing is they've got 650 active concurrent users at any time of the day in the business hours. अगर आज के डेट में अभी ये एप्लीकेशन का कोई भी सर्विस बंद होता है, immediately the next seconds there is customers basically pinging or calling or informing that particular company that there's something is going wrong, can you please check. Okay, 650 people are live on the application at any point of time. अब 650 जो है ना, अगर हम वो IPL के जियो सिनेमा और हॉटस्टार से कंपेयर करें तो कुछ भी नहीं है. बट when it comes to our application as a B2B app, as people looking at our application on real time basis, 650 जैसा नंबर हम और कोई मेथड से नहीं अचीव कर सकते. हम कोई एग्जीबिशन में एक टाइम पे 650 कस्टमर्स को नहीं केटर कर सकते, और कोई भी मेथड से हम 650 कस्टमर्स को प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं दिखा सकते. So this is probably the only way or the only method in which you will be able to reach that particular audience at one point of time. They've got more than 3,500 orders which are placed directly via the application, and at least 4,000 users are actively using the application every week. Now, all of this has happened in a span of 2 years. We started doing this in the COVID. We started making this application. We released it, I think, in 2021. It's 2 years, or fairly 2 years. This is the result which they have been able to generate with the app. Now, this is one of our success stories where we feel that they've been able to do a phenomenal job in overall achieving this 360-degree marketing, in making sure that they're engaged with their customers, and everything which we have talked about in the previous slides. The next client which I would like to showcase is Tanvi Goldcast, which is in Rajkot. Again, not sure if someone from Tanvi Goldcast has joined, but Tanvi Goldcast is another one of these like one of my proud success stories, I would say. They had an application earlier which was probably giving them result, but not what they saw with this application which we created for them. They've got 4,500 registered users. They have been also using our application since about 1.5 2 years now. They've got 10,000 app downloads. They've got 100 people who have placed, who has done user reviews. Okay, 4.8 out of 5 is their average rating on app stores. Now, all of this, again, as I said, numbers, but the most important thing is dhanda. Number of orders which you have received. 7,500 orders has been placed via their application. Now, how has this happened? They've made the app as an integral part of their sales process. The orders are going to happen via the apps. Now, we are just showing you the counts of the orders, and we do not have the idea of how many number of, like, what's the size of the order and everything. But Tanvi Goldcast is a manufacturer of casting jewelry. No orders are small because that's not feasible. These are large orders coming directly from distributors or retailers, right? 7,500 orders is what they've basically processed directly via the application. It's not about the number here as well. It's about being a part of the process. The app is an integral part of the process. That's what gives them this entire numbers. At every week, they've got at least about 1,000 people using the application. And products getting added, service to the customer is phenomenal. That is the reason why this number has been able to achieve. Now, the success stories maybe, I mean, I'm proud to say that these are my success stories, but they are actually success stories of these customers who've been able to put that much amount of effort over their application. And I really thank them to, use their, put in that much amount of effort to get this kind of numbers to be possible and to give us an example that how it can really be done. So these are two success stories where they've basically followed. I've tried to summarize all their 2 years of effort in the entire slides, which I have showed you right now. That's what they've done to get these kind of numbers. So if you're looking, if you, these are any of these numbers, feel that, feel good to you, you feel that you should have these kind of numbers, I would, you can get in touch with me, and we can discuss how we can achieve something like that for you, or how uniquely we can make something like that possible for you. So yeah, that's pretty much all from my side for my presentation here. Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's almost time.
Uh, yes, we can take some questions if the audience, anyone has any
Please.
questions.
Yes. Anyone who want to ask any questions regarding anything here, I think I'll be
Hey,
more.
yes. I have a question regarding like how is the response of people on the app knowing that they can't basically get the real feel of the jewelry before ordering? So are people hesitant towards it, or people are getting used to it and make in like starting to give orders?
So as per our experience, what we have seen, right, pre-COVID, there was a lot of, touch and feel, of how do I understand? I'm more interested in feeling the product before I place an order. It was something more pre-COVID. Once COVID hit, everything became digital. People were still doing their businesses digitally. And that's where, the entire paradigm shifted, so we basically saw massive difference in how people perceive products. And at today's age, I think majority amount of business is happening by sending pictures or showcasing products, in digital methods, or it's happening physically, right? I mean, physical is never going to change. You have to meet your customers, but that's in a cycle, right? You'll meet them once in some months or some weeks, right? Apart from that, the digital method is something which we have seen has not given any negative, people are not saying that my design selection nahi kar sakta, mujhe हाथ में product feel करना ही है. Now, I'm talking about purely B2B here. So these are customers you've been working with before. They already know your quality. They already know your ethics of your business, that you'll, deliver of what you've been committing for. That's when this problem does not arise. Now, when you're going to a new customer, okay, this is again a very standard practice which everyone follows. Whenever we go to a new customer, we are always showcasing them some sort of a sample line which we have. We are showing them the products which we are making. Okay, this is a limited set of products, of course, a part of your inventory which can be sold there and there, but it's a limited amount of data. So limited products are shown to achieve product quality, and that's when we introduce the application that this is the app. You can see a lot more here, and you can use the application to place more orders on day-to-day basis.
Okay, thanks.
We've got a couple of questions on the chat. How can we make our old client active on app? How to wake them up? All right. So push notifications are the most effective way to wake someone up. Okay. And if push notifications are, so what do you mean by wake up? So pehle to ek baar samjho. This is Kalash Jewels asking this question. How do you wake up a customer, right? Abhi customer ne app download kiya hai, nahi kiya hai. We've tried marketing them, but they are not using the application. Why does that happen? Because you're not continuously creating that, application ka importance in their head. It's a continuous effort. आज हमने अगर कोई application का marketing किया, which resulted in acquiring that particular customer in the first place, but we did not nurture that customer or work with that customer on day-to-day basis. What will that do? Customer का interest चले जाएगा, कोई और आदमी आके और कोई application का marketing करके जाएगा. So eventually your focus goes away, right? So you have to make sure that your marketing activity is not a one shot. आप एक बार करके वो छोड़ नहीं सकते. It's a regular activity which happens on day-to-day basis. Only then the results are possible. We also have a question from Amrit Kumar Soni. How can we make our app efficient to the client who are not tech friendly? See, this is the most important thing. So now if you are dealing with customers who are not tech friendly, that means it might be anywhere. It is not necessary they're in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 cities. It can be anywhere. See, the idea is to make sure that your customer का जो दो चीज हमने इसके पहले डिस्कस किया, एक कस्टमर को वीडियोस बना के भेजिए कि पूरा का पूरा प्रोसेस किस तरह से किया जाता है। सेकंड, आपके सेल्स पर्सन के साथ उनको एक बार गाइड करवाइए और एक सैंपल ऑर्डर डलवाइए। These two processes, if they have done, they are comfortable in using your application one time. अगर वो एक बार सैंपल ऑर्डर प्लेस कर ले, एक बार खुद देख ले कि कितना इजी है आपके गाइडेंस से, तो योर चैलेंज इज फिनिश्ड। योर कस्टमर इज नाउ नो लॉन्गर टेक, मतलब वो टेक चैलेंज नहीं है, वो हो गया है टेक फ्रेंडली। व्हाट्सएप भी किसी ना किसी ने उनको सिखाया था, उनके सन ने, उनके कोई ना कोई यंगर पर्सन इन द फैमिली मस्ट हैव टॉट देम वंस, and now probably they are the masters. So that's the that's what you need to do. You need to handhold them once. And B2B B2C में सबसे बड़ा difference ये है, B2B में we are talking about repeat orders. So the one time hand holding activity, इसको हम बोलते हैं customer acquisition cost. Okay, the one time hand holding which you do with your customer, उसका जो effort का cost का जो problem है, या what type of cost you are bearing to do this is nothing versus the lifetime value of your customer. ये customer आपके साथ जो काम करेगा over a period of time, it is far more than ये one time effort डालने का। Sandeep ji, yes, Sandeep ji will connect with you. I think we have your details. I will connect with you after the meeting today itself. Swapnesh ji from Dhanaksh has messaged, I am in antique jewelry, not in bulk category. Design is the most important thing. My concern is product copy. How can we tackle it? Very, very, very important question. Let me put some light on this. Now, let us introspect in this particular thing. Okay, जो designs हम लोग बना रहे हैं, until unless we are making all our customers come to our store, and that is the only way in which we show them our designs, okay, then you should not look at digital at all. अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि मेरे सामने कस्टमर रहेगा, मैं जाऊंगा या वो आएगा तो ही हम प्रोडक्ट्स दिखाएंगे, तो फिर डिजिटल आपके लिए बना ही नहीं है, राइट? सो यू कैन बी you can live under, you can really do nothing about the whole digital thing. But B2B space में, considering all the other people who are already marketing their applications in different ways, this is not going to be practical and possible. That means you have to reach to your customers and show as much as content as possible to your customers. Now, what other methods do we have? Are we sending them WhatsApps? Are we sending them some links? Are we sending them some Google Drive, Google Drive or Dropbox के ऊपर upload करके दे रहे हैं? This is the only options do we have. None of these options are safe. That means the customer can save everything, take screenshots, do whatever they want with it, with all of the other methods. Now, by creating your own app, there are two main things which you get when it comes to product security. Okay, point number one is in Android, which is the majority in India. So majority of the mobile smartphones adoption in India are of Android versus iOS, right? On Android, screenshots are 100% blocked. That means anyone trying to take a screenshot is blocked, right? वो ले ही नहीं पाएगा. Screen recording is blocked. You can block it 100%. Then comes your iOS. Okay, so iOS on the other hand does not allow you to block it. So वो आपको बोलेगा एक बार जब भी कोई स्क्रीनशॉट ले रहा है तो उसको वार्निंग दे दो, दूसरी बार लेगा तो आप उसका एक्सेस हटा दो. तो that's exactly what we've done कि फर्स्ट टाइम कोई स्क्रीनशॉट लेगा तो वार्निंग देंगे, सेकंड टाइम अगर वो स्क्रीनशॉट लेता है तो उसका हम एक्सेस हटा देते हैं, आपका रिस्क बन जाता है वो एक प्रोडक्ट का. Now, like the way you said, you're into antique jewelry is not exactly in the bulk category. Okay, that means what you're doing is you're not, I mean, as I said, if you're giving your product photos to anyone just like that in any different way, the application is far more secure than any other method in which you are currently giving your designs out. One of the other things in terms of security is if someone has logged in or someone is already a member of your application and they log in from one of their devices, the app is locked on that device. वो कोई दूसरे डिवाइस पे सेम यूजर नेम पासवर्ड से खुलेगा भी नहीं. तो मतलब आपने मुझे एक्सेस दे दिया और मैंने आपके कंप्यूटर को एक्सेस दे दिया. This is also not a scenario. Plus we also track location, so you know exactly where they are logging from. Plus you can also block or restrict them from location basis, like जिसको बोलते हैं geo tagging. So you can geo restrict them के ये जो first time जिधर से login किया था वो उधर से login कर सकता है या उसके radius से login कर सकता है, उसके बाहर रहेगा तो नहीं login कर पाएगा. So the method which is there right now for digitally showcasing the products to your customers, the application is the most secure and the most the most effective method in which you can actually showcase your products to your customers without being that worried about product copy, considering all the other methods. Any other questions? If anyone has, you can. Okay. We Jigar by saying we want to know more about your new softwares which will help us in our manufacturing. So we do not do anything in terms of manufacturing. Our main focus is into how we can help you sell better. There are many softwares available outside which will help you manufacture better, but that's something which we don't get into. Our agenda or our focus is purely from the time when your product is ready, so that it can be sold. It can be sold in a better way. And if you've received an order, how do we make your customers aware about the order in the most effective way? We can integrate with any third-party softwares. So anything which you already have or can make can be integrated. Yeah, I think that's all right. Yeah, okay. So Apnesh ji also has, can we make use of the app in our exhibition for taking orders? Yes. Another important thing which can be done is the application works both online and offline. We make it work offline by setting up like a local server in your facility. So when you go to an exhibition, you do not need internet connectivity. You do not need any wiring to be done specifically. All you need is one laptop or a CPU or a server which we can provide you, and you can just synchronize all your data and take it there, collect all your orders on your app, and just come back and synchronize it back into your backend system. In fact, can synchronize it every day as well, so that you can do real-time tracking on day-to-day basis and get all the reports, all the different type of reports, like how much order you've received, which customer has given you the most amount of order, which design has worked the most for you. Yeah, all of this can be real time generated during the show. You don't even need to wait कि भाई show complete होने के बाद मैं analysis करूंगा. वो show के time पे ही you can generate all of these reports so that you can get and take actions basically. Sandeep Zinduwadia ji, if it can be connected with our software, yes, we are open for any kind of integration. Any software, which you have, it can be integrated with any of them. But of course, the software provider which you are using should be also comfortable in, this whole connectivity. So we are open for connecting to any softwares. At today's age, majority of the jewelry manufacturing or jewelry inventory management and accounting softwares are open to the idea of integrating with Jewelflow or Trialogic. So I think it shouldn't be a problem. Rishabh Jain ji has said, how can I brand these apps for my customers to get order and be in touch on regular basis? Like here on these apps, there is no chat option to connect with the customer. So customers are already using, generalized chat methods, which is WhatsApp. If you try to create, an application to just communicate with you, the customer is not going to just communicate with you only using your application. I mean, we again, very B2C concept, very, it's a different thought process which you are looking at. The idea is to be connected with your customer, but not necessarily chat within your app. You can use the place where they're spending most amount of time in. WhatsApp पे सबसे ज़्यादा टाइम अगर वो स्पेंड कर रहा है, तो इट इज रादर बेटर कि हम उधर उससे कम्युनिकेट करें, वहां पे कम्युनिकेट करें, बिकॉज हमें रिस्पॉन्स भी अच्छा मिलेगा, जल्दी मिलेगा, instead of trying to create a different channel altogether. So the communication channel ideally should be your WhatsApp. And how do you get orders and be in touch on regular basis? I think that 360-degree marketing slide which I showed, if you continue to do that and do customer engagement activities, I think your customers will be engaged with you on regular basis. Darshan Jain has asked, can the app have a payment gateway as well? Yes, the payment gateway can be there. It's more of a B2C concept again, where payment gateway is, we've integrated payment gateways. It is direct bank payment gateways. It's also, some, like Razorpay or CC Avenue being a payment gateway, right? We've integrated it, but then the agenda for these applications are mainly to collect money from direct end consumers. That means the ticket size is not that large. एक जो payment value है वो उतना large नहीं होने वाला है. So when it comes to B2B, on the other hand, it's not that the payment gateway can be integrated. There is in India, B2B payment gateways have a very different logic flow altogether. It works more like escrows. So yeah, so payment gateway B2B mein, it is not it's not exactly happening right now. But yeah, if you're looking for B2C, payment gateway can be integrated. Swapnesh ji said, enhancing the photo quality, can it be done on app? No, sir. Photo quality is something which whatever photographs you are clicking is what we are showing on the application. There are brilliant machines available in the market right now, which will give you, practical, realistic. I mean, ऐसा लगेगा कि photos, jewelry आपके सामने है. Ideally, those are the right ways of doing photography. I mean, on the application per se, whatever product you upload, whatever image you upload is what is going to be showcased on the app.
Yeah, sure. One question.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility of integrating AR, like how Lenskart does this with frames? Can we do it with our gold products? So the user also gets a kind of a real feel trying the jewelry on the app.
Absolutely. I mean, we've done this again for a B2C customer. We've integrated with one of the, a third party AR tool, which is quite famous in the jewelry industry. So we've done an integration in the past. We can, connect offline and I can show you how that was done. But it's possible. Again, it's very B2C though. So imagine a B2B customer, a customer of yours who's probably, who's basically, taking that bulk order from you is not going to do that, try on every time they want to place an order. So on B2C, on the other hand, it's a brilliant, it's a must have. It's a must have. Kanchan, can we have names of photography software? Sir, I'm not sure about the photography software as such. I'm referring to the photography machines. We've got Vikrant here in the meeting. He heads Orbit VU Integrity in India. So that's the best machine. I will not even say one of the best. That's the best machine in India right now to take any type of product photography for jewelry. So probably Vikrant can get in touch with you and show you how that works. No, we don't limit the sizes for you to upload. Swapnesh ji, you can upload whichever size image you want. We resize the application we resize the image on the other hand to make sure that it is optimized in terms of its loading time. So like I was explaining in my presentation, the most important feature for your application to have it is to open fast. If it takes forever, it's not going to really, be interesting at all. So to make sure that it opens opens fast, we resize the images which you upload in multiple different sizes as per the app's requirement. So you can upload whatever size you want. There's no restriction as such. All right, so I think, okay, Swapnesh ji has another question. Photo quality deteriorates once compressor. So I think we can achieve this. I mean, I think this is some questions which we can take it offline. How can we get better quality? I think we can, discuss on this one-to-one. I'll get in touch with you, Swapnesh ji. All right, so I think that's all. We've overshot our presentation by another 15 minutes, but with the Q&A, I hope some of more questions have been answered here.
Great. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. Thanks to Yash for a wonderful presentation. I hope all of us got a lot of insights. And we will be back soon with our next webinar topic. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can write it directly to Yash, and you can also write to JESPA at info@jespa.in. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you everyone for connecting here. I'm available on WhatsApp. You can drop your messages or your queries on WhatsApp on this number. and I will reply back as soon as possible. Thank you so much for joining and staying till the end. Thanks a lot.